Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I am truly flying by the seat of my pants today. Let me tell you, this stamp set is harder than I thought it was going to be. So if you all were like not quite sure about it, I'm like doubly not sure about it. I've got 2 great cards for you today, but and then I've got to make up some more for the following weeks. Boy, I have had a wild ride over the last 10 days or so. You know, last time I said I had redone my whole rig and I got some new equipment and whatever. Well, so much of that ended up not really working. So I ended up redoing it all. And the sound should be great today. I wish you would have told me last week that the sound was really, really crappy, because it was really, really crappy. And I've thought 3 or 4 times about redoing the video from last week. But here we are, and everything should be so much better. Everything should look super awesome. And when you see my hands today, you're going to love the crispness and clearness of everything that you see. You'll be able to zoom in and look at details, and it's going to be so awesome. So, I'm so glad you guys are popping out there. Hello to all of my regulars, and I'm so glad to see you all. And so because I had to spend last weekend reworking my whole rig again, now I'm a little bit behind on things, but we'll catch up this weekend. I'm confident that we'll be good to go starting next week, and things will be a little less like crazy. A little less like running with scissors. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it. So hello. Yeah, there better not be a hum today, Nancy. So it should sound really, really awesome. Okay, so just a reminder to everybody here, there is all of the supplies are listed down below for today's projects. And those are affiliate links, so if you use them and check out, I may get a small commission at no additional cost to you. And I know if you guys are like tired of hearing that, sorry, it's the law. I gotta say it every time. So you can just like repeat it along with me. So there's that. And of course, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, because that helps YouTube know that you like my content and helps YouTube to pop me into your recommended videos more often. And of course, share. So click on that share button and share this out to maybe your Facebook page, share it with your friends, send it in an email to someone and say, hey, you should check out this crafty video. Nicole's really awesome and we have a great time and you should come. So do all that awesome stuff for me. I appreciate it. So that helps keep this crafty education channel up and running. All right, so, another piece of good news. We got our high-speed internet yesterday, so we're rocking it with blazing gigabit Ethernet. All right. That's so funny, Miss Tanthia is so funny. Oh my goodness, Becca, it's all your fault apparently. So, hey, let's flip down to my hands and see what all of this looks like. So, hands shot. Check that out. Oh. I guess I flipped over. Did not mean to do that. Sorry. Didn't mean to pop up the end screen there, but we are on the hands view now. So look at this. It's beautiful down here. My hands are nice and clear. And I mean, look at the detail. Just going to pop in. There we go. Look at how, I mean, we can see how crummy my nails look. But more importantly, we can see awesome cards. So for this month, I wanted to do a whole bunch of interactive cards. So today we've got 2 interactive cards. They're so stinking adorable. I really do like them a lot. It just took a little bit more brain power because they weren't flowers. So check out this guy. He's so funny. I decided, with the one of a kind, I had to do some kind of funky colored cat. So I went for pink, and yeah, it is shaking. So these are these little wobbles, and I'm going to show you guys those. Of course, the link is down below. And it's so much fun. Like, you just want to sit there going wee, wee, wee all day. It's great. And then, of course, a classic shaker card. So using some of that new picket fence mix that I got, super awesome. And I love the coloring on this cat. So this was my second try on this cat. So if you decide to do this and you struggle with it, know that I struggled with it too. But I will show you some tips on how to get this nice, beautiful blended look. I mean, look at that. Isn't she adorable? She's so cute. Could be a little boy too, I guess, a little Caticorn unicorn going on there. Anyway, so those are the two projects we're going to do today. And oh, I love cats. We have two. We used to have four. We had two that have traveled the world with us. We got them when we lived in California, and then we moved to Germany and they went with us. And then we moved to Texas and they went with us. And then we moved here to Nebraska and they came with us. And then they finally passed. But when we moved to Texas, we got them some kittens to kind of help liven them up, because at that point they were about 10 years old. And they needed a little bit of energy in their lives. So kittens help with that kind of thing. So now those two are gone, and we have the two younger ones still, and they're actually brothers. They're from the same litter, and they are adorable and a ton of fun, and about 10 years old now. So that's our cats, and their names are Igor and Dmitry. They're both named after Russian composers. So enough about my kitty cats. And let's move on. When I was a kid, we had a dog in the house. And then when he passed, I begged and begged and begged, and we got a cat. So I've had both. All right, so we're going to start with the boingy one here, because that's just too much fun. And you're going to love how easy this is, because it's basically just like making a card. Instead of putting this up on foam, you're going to put it on the little wobble, and that's all there is to it. It's so easy. Okay, so let me move a few things. Actually, I'm going to put these guys over here. And this is for the other card, so I'll kind of pop that out of the way. All right, and that's for that card. Okay, good. So grab this adorable stamp set, and we just need to do a little bit of stamping. And the one thing I didn't grab, like I was frantically trying to get everything, I didn't grab my black. Okay, so I'm just going to use my obsidian black because I had it out. Of course, you can use Nocturne or your VersaFine Clair, either one will do. Okay, so we're going to do the little flying kitty. Yeah, you're right. Igor Stravinsky and Dmitry Shostakovich. Okay. So because they are both partial Russian blues, so that's where they got the names from. Okay, and then I need some clouds in here. So I just need to make sure that I've got enough room to die cut. I forget how many clouds today. I used 3 clouds. So let's get ourselves enough space here to put a 3rd cloud in there and do our coloring. Okay, I've got so much on my desk right now, things that I don't need right away. So let's move some of that. We're gonna need those in a minute though, and that. Okay. So I hope everybody had a good week. My week went by way too fast, like it always does. And it was a pretty good week after I got everything set up here. It was pretty good. All right, so I'm done with the kitty. And I've been using my Picket Fence scrubber. I do like it. And I've discovered that, yes, it is going to stain. So this was from last week, but there's also like some orange on here from another project I did later in the week. So this is just going to keep getting dirtier and dirtier. But as long as I'm rinsing it out, it's just fine. It doesn't leave any color behind when I use it later. Okay, so we're done with that guy. And I need like one more cloud. And then we're going to need the clouds again in a minute here. So, yeah, so Teresa, I think that's what happened to me is like all of a sudden I was looking at these critters and I was like, crap, what do I do? I think it's because they have to be grounded a little differently. And you kind of have to think of them in more of a scene than you do with flowers. So I'm so busy with all my video making. Yeah, I am. And okay, so this month, because I have this new rig and everything, one of the things that I'm doing is everything I'm doing is basically live. And believe it or not, live videos take less effort because there's no editing. It all just happens live, and whatever happens, happens, right? So as long as the sound is good and the video is good, there's nothing else to do after it's done. So that's kind of nice. So I need to grab a block here. There we go. Okay, so what did I just do there? I used one of those Sizzix sticky sheets and put it down on my table here, so that way this piece won't move. So this is the center of the card, this guy right here. All right, and I need to put some clouds, and actually I'm going to bring this up here for reference because I was pretty happy with how that turned out. Now these clouds do go 2 different directions, so I just kind of need to be mindful of where they go. All right. I'm actually using this card that I made earlier as a template. Because I liked the way that they got laid out in the end there. Okay. Let's see. You know, I don't know where August went. One of the websites that my husband and I work on, they have us update their menus because it's for a retirement home. And they have us update their menus on a monthly basis. And she sent me their new menus today. And I was like, what in the world? How is this September already? Like, it was just crazy. Okay, so I need, oh, here they are. For my samples, I cut out a whole bunch of masks because we're going to use these for this project. So actually, I just need to start covering these guys up. And then actually I need putting one more cloud, like right there. All right. I think that's, oh, I have one more cloud that I can do. Okay, so let me see. This cloud and this cloud. Oh, I need to do the other one. I guess I can figure out where these are going to go later, but I do need to do one of these. There. Okay. Now all my clouds are done. Yeah, so anyway, I get these calendars and they're for September, and I'm like, I don't know where the month is gone. How is it September already? Oh, Miss Tam. Yeah, the Alta New Zooms are a ton of fun. I'm sorry that it was a complete failure or close to a complete failure. You know, the good thing about those Zoom classes is that, of course, you can watch them and do them over again. So that's a good thing about those classes. Okay, so now I'm just taking all of my masks and covering up all these cute little clouds that I made. Now this is going to leave that white border around them because I used the die to cut these, but that's okay. I think the look ended up being just fine. So, and I hope I have enough masks for these guys because these are all like going the wrong direction. Okay. There. That one will work. I can always move them around if I need to. Oh, this one will work too. I think I'm just one short. This one, because this mask goes the wrong direction. Isn't that funny? The clouds, I mean, they're both different directions, so there's not much I can do. I will just have to make sure that I move a mask when I get there. All right, yeah, you know, Picket Fence does have some cute owl stamps. And those are kind of, those seem to me like ones that you don't necessarily have to make a scene with. Like they could stand alone and they would be just fine. Okay, so I'm using 2 relatively close colors, Tumbled Glass and Broken China. And I can never remember. Okay, so I think that's how they, yeah, that's how they go. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Tumbled Glass. Yeah. Hey, so Miss Tamp, who was your instructor? Was it Lydia or was it someone else? All right, so just lightly, I'm putting the tumbled glass all over. And I'm just going to kind of avoid this one until I'm ready to put a mask around it. All right, so that's that. And then my broken china. This one happens to be one of the rounded foams, and I like the rounded foams for the distress because they don't squeak. When I use the rounded foams from scrapbook.com on with dye inks, they squeak and it drives me crazy. So for this, I'm not necessarily like going for like a darker blend or anything. What I'm trying to do is just like highlight some of these clouds. So I'm not going to go all over the place with it. So let me move one of these guys now that I'm done here. This guy can come up and move over. Oops. There we go. And then I'm going to just kind of go. All right, so there's like a little harsh line there. All I have to do is blend that back in with the tumbled glass. So now it's more of like a mottled background. It's very subtle, the difference between the two, but it makes something look a little less flat with one color. Let's see. So, oh, that's okay. You know, sometimes that happens. It just kind of depends on how difficult the project is, Miss Tam. I just actually finished putting together some projects for my next Zoom class, which will be in September. And they're pretty fun. So, and let's see. Teresa, oh, you did one with Sarah last week, and you said that that was good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, those Zoom classes are a lot of fun because there's only 10 people, and you can ask questions if you want. Although I find a lot of people don't ask questions along the way. They're just happy to be crafting with us, which is kind of fun too. But okay, so you see how you can probably see it like here. This some lighter in here and then darker here and darker here. So just kind of like adding kind of like a wispy cloud look so that it's not just one solid color. Let's see. Oh, you're so funny. Yeah, my space is like a tornado when I do these classes. You should see it afterwards. It's just kind of nutty. Okay, so I can set that aside. I don't think, oh, I do need it again because we're going to do some clouds later. All right. You did? Which one did you do, Teresa? Okay, so I'm going to zoom in because now we're going to color with some colored pencils. Okay, so hello, little kitty. All right, so crazy enough, I pulled out my colored pencils to top it all off. Like I didn't just want to color these with Copics or something like that. I had to pull out the colored pencils too. So there was a little bit of a learning curve there. So I'll share with you everything that I learned. Okay, so I'm starting off with this kind of pinkish peachy color. This is called Dark Flesh, although it's pink. So what I'm going to do is just lightly color everywhere with it. Everywhere that I want the pink to end up, even in the shaded areas, I'm coloring in with the pink. Now, when you're coloring with colored pencils, you need to color light. Otherwise, you'll never be able to add other colors on top of it to blend. So at this point, there is still a lot of white paper showing through. And then I don't really mind, again, that this is kind of dull right now because I'm kind of using the side of the pencil. I'm not going right from the tip because I don't want any sharp edges. I just want to fill this in with color. All right, so that's first, and it's like, this looks like a kid colored it, right? It's not super great. Okay, so now I've got two darker colors. This one is Rose Carmine, and this one is Burnt Carmine. So no wonder these two would work well together. So obviously this is the darker of the two. And so now I'm going to start working in some shadows. All right, so off the top of her little back. And then I'm going to kind of bring it down a little bit more because, you know, the way the butt goes, she just needs a little bit extra curvy curve there. All right, and then this little back leg where it's popping out here needs a little bit. And then I guess I can bring just a little bit down here. So you see how it's getting kind of darker, I mean, just even more filled in. That's because we're adding another layer of pencil. And so now I'm just gonna go just a little bit up on the inside of the tail here. All right, now her little belly needs a little bit of shadowing. All right, I'm gonna bring that down here and up a little bit. And then of course her little back leg needs a little bit. And then on the side of her face. And then we need to definitely put some shading around like the top of her head and into here where the horn comes out, so we can really show some dimension. And then up on the other side of her face. All right, so again, that kind of looks better, but it's still not quite there yet, right? So this is on the accent paper, yes. Yeah, Becca, these colors would be great for Little Piggy. Is it the Little Piggy from Honeybee Designs? Because that one is so cute. Okay, so now I'm bringing in this this kind of medium color. This is in the middle to start blending out the dark shading. All right, so now we're working our way in, following all of the same shading lines. And just like you would with a Copic marker, I'm kind of backing it into the darker color as well, so that you get a nice blend in between the two. Oh, I was a bad influence, huh? Oh, you saw that in that, that one time that I shared what I got, and it was right there, that little piggy. Oh, or it's called Bad Influence. Yes, maybe that's what it is. Either way, I'm a bad influence. It's from Bad Influence, whatever. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, so work out that. Okay, so you can see how these two colors are really starting to blend nicely together, and that's because we left enough paper for it to be able to blend. Yes and yes, aha, aha, aha. You're so funny. All right. Okay, and then let me just Okay, so now all of that's done, and that looks pretty good, except the center still is like not colored in dark enough yet. So now I'm just going to come back in with that original light color and work this shading line and watch what happens. This whole little kitty is just going to come to life. All right, so let me tell you, this time is taking me much less time to actually do this than me working on this initially. Because trying to figure this out to begin with was pretty tough. And then it all came together. I'm like, oh, that's pretty easy. All right, that's like a total no-no to wipe it off with your hand like that. I should have like a little brush, but I don't. I was until the end. I mean, I'm not like, I don't have a death grip on my pencil, but at first, definitely using a light hand. I mean, you see how far away my fingers are from the pencil. That helps to make sure that you have a light hand. The farther away you are, the lighter your hand is going to be with it. So then if I need a little bit more shading, I can just kind of add in a little bit if I feel like I need it. All right, and then if I want to do some little cheeks, that's when I'm going more for the point of the pencil. There. Isn't she so cute? Okay, so for her ears, you know what I did? Oh, here it is. So for some of this, I used just a journaling pen to fill in. She's already pink, so she didn't need pink ears. So the only thing is that these pencils are kind of waxy. So if I'm using a journaling pen and it gets into the color pencil, and sometimes it stops working. So actually I could have done that first, and then I wouldn't be running into that problem. There. All right, and then for her little horn, I've just got like a super light gray color. This is Cold Gray #1. Just to put a little bit of shadow on her little horn. And, oh, I don't think I put this on the supply list. Wink of Stella, so like a little glitter brush. Gotta add some glitter to the unicorn. So, just a little glitter on her horn. All right, now if you want, I didn't do that on these, but if you wanted to, you could take your light colored pencil and add a little bit of shadow detail to your clouds too. Not necessary, but sometimes it just kind of helps bring everything together. And I don't necessarily, I'm not trying to make these all nice and neat and smooth, so you actually can see the lines a little bit. Oh yeah, okay, so Teresa, I'm catching up with what you said about the class. So there, can you see just that little bit of detail on those clouds? Just a little tiny bit. Very helpful. So yeah, Teresa, I've done so many of the Zoom classes now that they're all blending into each other. Okay, so these guys are ready to be die cut, which actually we can do next. So I could run them through my Gemini. I could run them through my Mini Blossom. Either one will work. I just happen to have both sitting here. Oh, because we're going to need the Gemini for the next card. Okay, and I was kind of having a problem getting these to align. They're not quite exactly the same on the top and the bottom, so you kind of, if it doesn't look quite right, you may have to flip it. Oh no, Becca, that's awful. We just got our new internet yesterday and the cable is sitting on the ground, and I'm like, nobody better come by and clip that because I'm gonna be mad. Teresa. Yeah, okay, I don't feel so bad. You took one class. I've done like 6 or 7 of them. McDonald's parking lot. So Becca, have you been sitting in the McDonald's parking lot all day doing work and whatever? Or is this just like I'm running away to watch Nicole and I'm going to sit in the McDonald's parking lot? I love it. I know a lot of people do that if they are like salespeople and they're like in between stopping at customers and stuff. My dad used to do that. He used to go to the McDonald's and get a cup of coffee and do things on the internet there. So, oh, I just realized that we're like still totally zoomed in. So let me zoom out in a second here. Okay, we'll zoom back in when we get back to more coloring. There we go. That's a little bit more appropriate, isn't it? Okay. Oh, we've got to do one more cloud. Isn't it so cute? Not that one. This one. Okay. Run this through. I'm running away to watch me. That's so sweet. Meow, 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 meow. All right. And I'm sure the family's like, as long as you bring us home McDonald's, you can go do what you want. Okay, card base, super simple. Nothing special there. Okay, so remember when I told you that like folding this was really super easy? What I did notice is if I don't use a bone folder or a score tool, and I don't know if I'll be able to get it to focus on this. Come on, focus. I know you want to. It's too white. You can't really see it, but there is like, it could be more clean if I used a score tool and a bone folder on that. It gets a little crackly on the inside, not like it's cracking, breaking, but it could just be more crisp if I wanted it to be. All right. So when I think about it, I pull out my little mini scoreboard and I score it. So, but you could never, ever, ever do that with a piece of 110 Solar White because it's just too thick. All right, so there's this huge border on here, right? So we just got like our little tiny window into the outside with all these cute little puffy clouds. And we need to do our sentiment too. So let's do our sentiment so it can dry. And the one of a kind, I mean, just totally was the right sentiment for this. Oh, that's okay, because I need to get those anyway. Okay. All right, so this just barely fits on a piece of 1/4 inch cardstock, but I love how crisp it stamps. I mean, it's so nice. It's just perfect. Love it. Okay, so let's talk wobbles. The ones that I have, they're listed below, are these. All right, so one side, well, both sides have adhesive on them. This side is a little thicker, and this side is thinner. So, and this is the side that has the little, oops, it has a little piece attached to it. See, can you see that? Yeah, there you go. All right, so this thinner side is what I'm attaching to my element, and this side gets attached to the card base, the thicker side. All right. Oh, Rock Roses. Oh, so it was probably Nicole Picadura that you did the other class with. Okay, so these guys are actually going to go like right over. I guess I'll do about, yeah, I'll do that. That'll work. Awesome. And then I've got my sentiment, which actually I clipped off on the edge here. So let me just run this. There we go. Yeah, so those little wobbles, the packaging, I got like a ton of them in one pack. I was like, holy moly. Okay, so just add my sentiment here. And then these guys are going to get popped up. So instead of adding more clouds all over the place, because that would have just been too many clouds, and instead of not masking and blending these, I'm just putting these over the top. And I think that then what happens is you can see underneath it, oh, there's a little cloud stamped under there too. Sometimes you see that in like professional, in like Hallmark greeting cards and stuff like that. And I think that that just seemed like the right thing to do. Yep, I hear you, Teresa. So I have so many of them. I'm like, oh, I need to give some of these away because like this little bottle is probably 1/3 of what came in the package. So, and then there's like probably 15 in here, and I don't really use these all that often, but they're so cute. I mean, they definitely have their place. Okay, so again, I'm gonna take the backing off of this little, the clear side, and pop it on the back of my kitty. And it like just perfectly fits there right in the body. The first one I put more on her head, but then I realized I could put it back a little further. And then this side has adhesive on it too, so I just need to pull that off. And I'm actually going to add some extra glue on here because it's going on the distress ink, and sometimes adhesive-y things don't stick to the distress ink as well as I would like. So then I'm just going to pop her on. Hi, Kate. Nice to see you. So there we go. First card, totally done. Totally cute. Now I've got 2 of them. So a little interactive kitty with our little wobbles. So totally adorable. Oh yeah, so originally I thought I would do like a whole sheet, a whole background with the sky, but when I decided not to, it got cut off, and I thought, oh, you know what, if I put these outside the border, that works really well. to kind of break up those lines, which is something that I like to do, is breaking up all of these square lines. So putting the little clouds outside really helps to do that. So thanks for noticing, Paula. Yeah, absolutely. So Ms. Tamp, you could DIY them definitely out of wire, or you could use folded paper just like Becca suggested. So yeah. The paper, might have to see how that would work out. Maybe even a twist tie, because it's got the metal in it, but it's got the paper to help it stick. But you could definitely do it with some wire, like twist it into a circle around a pen or a pencil because it would be thinner, right? So wrap it around, and then maybe and then you would just have to tape it to the top and the bottom, and that would probably work really well. So yeah, super fun. All right, one card down, and we've got not much time left. Woo-hoo. Okay, so there is our second card, and as I am prepping our second card here, don't forget that all of the products are listed below with affiliate links, so I appreciate it when you guys use those. If you happen to need any supplies, even if you don't need something that I've got listed down there, if you're going to be shopping at one of those stores like Altenew or scrapbook.com or My Favorite Things, you can still click on one of those links and it will activate my affiliate code, and you'll be helping me out. Okay, so this time we're going to use the circled greetings from Altenew. I really like these because they don't have the outer part, so it turns it into a really perfect shaker card front. Okay, so let's do that part of it first, and then we'll get to the coloring of the kitty. So I've got my card base, which we're going to do some stenciling on. Okay, so card base. And then I've got a piece of white here that's going to get our thanks right in the middle. You could kind of put it up a little higher if you wanted to, because we're going to put those strips underneath in the cat. So I'm actually going to pull this up a little higher. I initially had done it right in the center, but I think giving it a little more room will be helpful. Okay, so this needs to run through my big die cut machine, which I put right in front of me. So it's like right here. So now I don't even have to get up. I can just let it run. And I dropped it. Okay. All right. So I can save the pieces to put together later. Yeah, you know, Teresa, I love sequins too. And a lot of times what I'll do is use older sequins that I've had for a while for my shakers. So in the same way that a lot of times we use washi tape to help hold down our dies, because, oh, I've had this washi tape forever, I'm just going to use it for my dies. That's what I do with my sequins. Okay, so there you go. See, isn't that nice how that just cuts out that whole perfect? And then one step that I always manage to forget is adding in my acetate. So now is a good time to do that. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the words so that they sit on the acetate and they don't pop up or anything. Doesn't need a whole lot. And then just go around. This does not have to be perfect. It just needs to be enough to hold your acetate in place. And yes, liquid glue will stick to the acetate. So there we go. All right, and then this just needs to have the foam on it. All right, so oh, my foam's over there. Let's grab that real quick. Okay. So some simple foam strips. And I try to get this as close as I can. without seeing it from the other side. All right, so this is good. Will seal on both sides, and that'll be perfect for my sequins. So I'm going to set this aside for now. So here is my card base, and this is not what I was looking for. Oh, it's over under here. I'm going to use the Cloud Stencil from My Favorite Things. Yeah, this one's just called Cloud Stencil. They have a mini Cloud Stencil, but we're going to use this one. And I've got enough blue left over on my sponges here that I don't need to go into any more of my Distress Oxide. So this one is the Tumbled Glass one. And I'm just going to do enough clouds that it will go on the inside of my my shaker. All right, so see there, look, poof, I've got clouds. I might just do up here just in case, but you're probably not going to see that. And I like to kind of move it around so that I don't end up with the same thing over and over and over again. So I turn it 90 degrees and come back in and just go on the edge. And that's all you have to do. You don't want to go up too high, otherwise you're going to start working into your clouds. And then sometimes I work it down at an angle, so you just get a little bit of interest with your clouds. Let me pop one over here. All right, so let's see what that looks like. And like magic, we've got clouds in our background. I mean, look at how easy that was. It took me like 2 seconds. Clouds always look impressive, but they're really not hard when you've got a nice stencil like that. All right, so that really is ready to go. Let's just finish this part, shall we? So I'm going to pop a few. I just happen to have these little ones sitting here, so that's what I'll use. All right, so that and that and that, and then my sequins mix. So fast, yep, they are super fast. So I don't like to put my sequins mix in the shaker part. I like to put a pile right here. So I'm just gonna grab a little handful and pop them in. That's pretty good. Sometimes even I like to glue a few here and there, so that way when you're shaking it, actually that's what I did on this one. So these couple here, they will always be there because I glued them in place. So actually let's do that for a couple of them. That way, if they all happen to be at the bottom, at least you still got a little bit of glitter going on. It doesn't need to be a lot of them. I mean, like literally just 3 or 4 will help some of them stick along the way. Okay. I love these sequins. I think they're stunning. These picket fence mixes. All right. And then we just need to get to coloring the kitty. And which is basically the same technique that we just did with the pink one. It's just that I did some like little splotches on them. Yes, so that is the On Point glue from Imagine Crafts. And it has a little needle. So this is the tip. And it has a little needle that goes right into the tip to keep it from clogging. So that's the On Point glue. All right, so see now I've got a couple of those glued in place, so that way when my shaker card shakes around, they stay in place, and see a couple other little ones like stick behind it and whatever. And then I've always got a little bit of glitter sequins everywhere. All right, okay, so let's set that aside. Let's get our little kitty stamped. I noticed that the My Favorite Things stamps are a little thinner than, than the ones that I'm used to from Ulta New. But at the same time, the line art on this is so precise and thin. I mean, it's really just a beautiful line. So they just have a little bit of a different feel to them than the ones that I'm used to from Ulta New. Okay, so let's do a little zoom. Okay, there we go. And this time I'm using cream color. So this is ivory, and then I've got this brown. So Caput Mortuum. And then this one is Burnt Ochre. So this one I think is probably missing the English name on it. But those are the three colors. So it's basically the same thing that I did for the pink guy. I'll put our little finished one here, except that I just did splotches around. So I started with the ivory color. And again, you see how far my hand is from the tip? That means that I'm going to get a nice light hand on here. And I'm just filling it in. With the ivory color. All right, guys, so I know it is 4:53. We are definitely going to go over time a little bit, but hopefully not too much. All right, so now she is, he is, whichever is ivory. Okay, so I'm going to work in the darker color and start picking out places where I want some shading to go and where I want to have some little spots. All right, I really like it on the ear tip over here. And then, you know, maybe I want to do a little brown little eye. Okay, and then this is, so it's kind of serving dual purpose. One, to get some little markings on the cat, but also to work in shadows. So I do want to hit the shadow spots like on the tail here and these back legs. Maybe one of his paws is going to be brown-ish. And I really liked this little chest spot that I did. See, I'm closer, so I'm laying down more color. I'm still not pressing hard though. These are Polychromos, the Faber-Castell. All right, so there's the beginning, and you can see that's where we're going to end up with the intensity and the beautiful color. Well, yeah, Nancy, but for me, it's 5 to 5. Okay, so same thing as last time. I'm taking the medium color now, and I'm going to use it to blend into the darker color. So again, overlapping colors. And even working back into the dark brown to start intensifying the color. And you can see like the dark brown ended here, but I'm going to pull it down even into here. Just because that's the way that I feel like this guy's color is working today. All right, and then let's get some lighter color around the little eye. So cute. Little spot kitty. And then on this one, I did like a little nose detail. And that's two things. One, color, two, to make it a little bit more dimensional, right? Okay, so on this guy here, this part here, I did is kind of pulled it down one side more than the other. And for some reason that felt to me like a good way to help add some dimension to his chest area. All right, so then that, a little bit there. Fill up his little paw down here. Okay, so there we go. There is our medium brown. So now we're going back to that light ivory color. And I'm going to blend these edges and get the rest of the cat into more of a vibrant ivory. Paula is in the UK. So the cool thing about what's going to happen here is that when I start blending the ivory into the lighter tan color, it's going to soften this and really make it blended super, super nice. See how I just went over that little nose spot and now it's just nice and soft and blended in. Same thing for here. It's going to grab that color. It's going to make almost a little bit of an intermediate color between the two. I really do need to get a little brush so that I can brush away my leavings. See how choked up I am? That means that I'm using a little bit more pressure. And you're seeing the top of my head. All right. Okay. So now that I've got that done, again, I can come back with my darker color and hit any spots that I want to have those pop out just a little bit more. Like under the chin here. And I can even pull in just a little bit more of the, now I'm doing this pretty light. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to use Gamsol to blend. You can blend with the actual pencils themselves. So yeah, and Heidi, you're definitely, you know, when you start off, if you're seeing white underneath, at the end, you really, if you want to have something that looks as colorful as this, you're not gonna see any white through it. And we can call him Bullseye. That's so adorable. Yeah, so the paper works really fabulous. And I think it might depend on the color pencil you're using. So I am using, like I said, I'm using the Polychromos, and I believe these are more of like, and don't quote me on this because I'd have to look it up, but these are kind of more of like an oil based, so they blend together like this. I don't know that the Prismacolors, they might be a little bit different. Heidi, this is the 80-pound accent opaque. So if you did end up getting some of that, then this is really great for your color pencils too. Okay, so let's do just a little bit again on his little horn. Again, I'm coming in with just the kind of gray color. And then this time I will put some pink in the ears. And this pencil really should be colored, sharpened. There. I'll finish him off. All right, so let's die cut the sky. Yeah, wax based. So we might see colored pencils again this month. I did do a rainbow and it's really pretty, but I didn't end up using it for any of these, obviously. Okay, let me back up here because you don't want to see all of that. All of that. There we go. And do I know I have another little piece somewhere. I don't want to mess this up when I run it through my die machine. That was just trash that fell. Yeah, so these are just traditional colored pencils. These are not watercolor pencils. He's got a little piece in the middle that pops out. So cute. And then let's get some sentiment going here. For the sentiment, I did this one, thank you for being there when I needed you. But I wanted it to be on two lines. So I need a Post-it note to do some masking. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take a Post-it and cover up the bottom. And then ink it up. Remove the mask. And then stamp. I got to get over this, guys, so pardon my head. Okay. There. So first one. So clean it off, dry it. And then Post-it's mostly dry at this point. So now I need to mask the top. All right, so my top is masked. And then ink it up again. Remove the mask. And then on the other side here, because this is longer than what I need, I will go ahead and stamp the second part. There we go. And again, I really like the way that these sentiments stamp. They're nice and crisp, and they look really awesome. Okay, so card base. I have some like stray marks on here, but I think that's just maybe a little bit of adhesive. So I will fix that when I'm off camera. And glue would be good. So we'll pop Bullseye on there. He's so cute. All right, and then add in the sentiments, and then I'll snip them when I'm happy with where they're at. Okay, looks good. Well, someone else named him Bullseye. Was that you, Teresa? Somebody said, hey, we could name him Bullseye. Anyway, I'll look at the pencil in a minute here. Okay, so what I did when I lined these up is I just lined up the E and the U. So they're basically right justified. And then a little snip, snip. And there you go. Ah, so fun. All right. Oh, so you wanted to know what was on here. That's burnt ochre. Yeah, so will it focus? Caput Mortuum with 2 U's. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. So there you go. All right, guys. Hey, actually not too bad. I wasn't sure about interactive cards and all the coloring and if we would have enough time, but we didn't go over too far. So there you go. Our first adorable cards for this month's Stamp Focus. For those of you that weren't so crazy about the idea of the cute or cutesy style, I hope this maybe is changing your mind that you can do all sorts of fun things with these guys. So next week I'll have 2 totally different projects using the same stamp set, and we'll have a good time with this, I think, this month. It'll definitely be a challenge for me, so I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. I hope you had a great time. It sounds like you guys were all sorts of chatty. I'll have to go back and rewatch the chat to see everything that went on. And if you do have any questions, of course, you can pop them in the comments below afterwards, and I'd be happy to answer them throughout the week. Don't forget that all of our products are listed below with links, so you can shop if you need to. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it throughout the week. And invite your friends. I would love to have more people join us. So thank you for joining me again today, and I will be back live on Monday with another release date video. I'm not giving away what it is, but I think you'll really enjoy it. So I'm trying to keep those a little bit shorter and a little more educational about the new products that are being released, and we do a quick project and bing, bang, boom, well, we're done. So anyway, I will see you guys on Monday if you can stop by. Otherwise, I'll see you here next Thursday again for another Running with Scissors, and have a great weekend. Bye, guys.